All right. So today is Friday, April 3rd. I'm gonna talk about a couple of different things. It shouldn't be too long, but yeah. So this was supposed to be funny, but I think it's more of like a tongue-in-cheek thing as to what is going on because I know that it's not just me that feels this way. Like, what day is it even? Um, so to that note, um, on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I typically ignore Canvas and ignore work altogether. I do it so I try to maintain some modicum of sanity. I do work all throughout the week, and I just try to ignore quote unquote responsibilities on the weekend. This is going to get a little more rough down the line. I'm going to have to do a bunch of grading, but that's just on me and not you. All right, so we may have covered this once before, but I want to cover delivery and language real quick for the time being. What I'm doing is I'm recording this lecture for both my FGCU and FSW classes. So I just wanted to record it once and get it out of the way. So when we talk about language, there is a specific what am I talking about? Sorry. So concrete language and vivid imagery. We want to use a myriad of concrete language in our speeches, especially now that we're delivering our speeches online. We don't have the same amount of visual and oral cues that you would have giving a speech in front of a group of people. So in order to make our speeches that much more electric and that much more amazing, what we need to do is really inject a great amount of concrete language and vivid imagery in our speeches. So who can remind me what an example of concrete language would be? Anyone? Give me the definition of concrete language. Alrighty, so concrete language is something along the lines of words that describe things that we can touch, that are tangible, like table, desk, computer, chair, wall, etc. Abstract language is more about things that we can't really touch. They're abstract concepts like war and peace and love. So we want to employ the use of concrete language more than the use of abstract language in our speeches. And here I have some examples of concrete images. Concrete words. And so instead of look, use the word behold, gaze, glimpse, peek, stare. Instead of walk, use stride, amble, stroll, skulk, etc., etc., etc. And from now on, there are what I'm going to call banned and boring words and phrases that I don't want you to use at all, including got, a lot, very, like, so, and gonna. And there are a bunch of different things that we can use in place of these words. So instead of so, what is a better word or phrase to use instead of so? Come on, guys, I know you're there. All right, so things better than so. I am so hungry. I am famished. I am starving. I am really hungry. All right, things better than got. I got a puppy. Something better than that. I adopted a puppy. I found a puppy. I rescued a puppy. Anything like this would work. Which brings me to delivery. Now, the keys to a good delivery are enthusiastic and confident, be direct, make sure you have an optimal speaking volume, vocal variety, speaking rate, pronunciation, articulation, enunciation. All these keys are extremely helpful and necessary when presenting online speeches. Because we don't have an audience to vibe off of, to feed off of, you're going to have to kind of create your own audience in your mind so that you have something to kind of bounce off of. And this is going to come into a lot when being enthusiastic and confident. If you are bored speaking to your screen, speaking to your camera, then it's going to be extra boring for us to watch it later on. If you are, same thing with vocal variety and speaking rate. So make sure that you are doing all of these in your video, which brings me to nonverbal cues. Now, all these are really good, and we've talked about these before, but really the most important two things are to animate your facial expressions and maintain eye contact. Now, maintaining eye contact doesn't necessarily mean to look at your screen, because that is not where the quote-unquote audience's eyes are. The audience's eyes are at the camera itself. So when you maintain eye contact, you want to be looking more at the camera, the device that's recording you, than the screen. And animate your facial expressions, because it's going to be super boring if you don't. Now, with pausing, too much pausing can be used as a vocal filler. Remember that you're doing a recorded speech, so a short pause here or there may seem like an eternity, both for us and you. So use sparingly, if at all. And remember that what we say, how we say something is just as important, if not more important than what we're saying. If you're bored, we will be bored. You need to inject a boatload of energy into your speech in order to keep the attention span of the audience, especially during these online speeches. Does anyone have any questions about delivery and language? Going once, going twice.